What's up, guys? Once again, it is mp4podcast.com bringing you guys some of the most interesting video game news that you guys need to know about. You know, I played a lot of games in the 90s, and one of the games, the genres that I kind of liked, even though I know it did get a bad rep, were full motion video games. And there are good reasons why, you know, that type of game didn't really take off. Night Trap. But anyway, let me get back on point. There were a lot of good full motion video games. Yeah, there were a lot of bad ones as well. But there is a new full motion video game in the works. The name of that game is The Tesla Effect, and it's a Tex Murphy Adventure, and it's coming from Big Fish Games. Now, I played a few of them back in the day. I played some on the Sega CD and a few on the PC. And I can tell you there were a couple of fun ones. One was Ground Texas Zero, which it was a lot of fun. It was kind of like they took the idea of what they had for Night Trap and they reworked it. And it actually became a good, cheesy B movie. And that's basically what you got with Ground Texas Zero. Really did like Wing Commander 3. That was a gem. I had the 3DO version, and I had a blast just playing that. And that version, I mean, that game actually had a lot of good elements where, you know, you go out and you fight a jet, and you're playing just a regular game that could be on, you know, Super Nintendo, but of course, I mean, the 3DO had better graphics than the Super Nintendo. But, you know, it was nothing to do with full motion videos. When you were in the cockpit flying your spaceship, maybe you might see a little full motion video on the corner that would be like, you know, maybe like your wingman would be saying something. You could just see him right there in the corner, kind of like there was like I think there was like a tube or an LCD, or it was an OLED in the future or whatever it was. But you get my drift. But Wing Commander did full motion video really smartly, and where, you know, you could be playing a game and you just had a lot of fun. Another game that I really liked full motion video where it was implemented was, I think it was called Shockwave, and Shockwave was another real B movie fun game to play. And again, these games don't the gameplay of these games don't really hold up too well today. But it was a lot of fun to play, and basically it was like Independence Day, and all these aliens, they invaded Earth, and there's like this spacecraft, like an aircraft carrier, but a spacecraft, you know, and Earth was launching their fighters from space to kill, you know, attack the aliens and so on. And when you got back to your spacecraft, you saw the full motion cutscenes, and you know, the captain of the ship would break it down, you know, what was going on and what your next mission was. And it was a lot of fun. There was a part 2, which I didn't play. There was a lot of big movie stars who did dabble in full motion video. Tina Carrera, I think that was a girl from Wayne's World and True Lies. She was in one, and I can't remember. I think I played a little bit of that one, but not too much. And I think the reason, because I think I was having some DOS problems. DOS was a nightmare back in the day sometimes. But that one was pretty good. I wish I kind of got the 3DO version, but I sold my 3DO. That's why I got the PC one. And, you know, there were a lot of fun games. There was even one that was on the 3DO. I can't remember the name. Snow Job or something. It was like a detective one, and some people say that is the best full motion video game, hands down. And people say it's excellent. There's been some other ones that were been a little bit fun here and there. So, you know, some of the like the B cheesy ones, they will like move the cursor, shoot something, that were okay for like, you know, some cheap fun, so and so. But the thing about the 90s, you got a lot of these filmmakers from the 90s who worked on a lot of these syndication shows that were cheap adventure shows, and they were trying to implement that in the full motion video games. And the worst thing that happened to full motion video games was Night Trap. And the reason because of that is that, you had the sleepover party with all these girls are all by themselves and they're all getting kidnapped. And, I hate to say it, but when girls get kidnapped, the statistics are when, horrible men do this, is either they get murdered or raped. And I think that was going through people's minds and so on. And that's why Night Trap got all the heat for full motion video games. Not really full motion video games, but there was a lot of talk about that game. And then the game got pulled. I can't remember how it got pulled. I remember there was some politicians that were getting involved with violent games, and Night Trap was up there with Mortal Kombat and so on. And that wasn't really a good thing. And then everybody was like, "Oh, Night Trap's horrible," blah blah blah. The game also sucks. It's not a good game. And then everybody just had the notion that full motion games were bad, and that's not the truth. I mean, a lot of these full motion games, they were kind of like, I would see them as sit down for a couple of hours, watch a movie, have some fun, and watch a cheap B movie. And that's how I kind of saw it. Now, you don't always beat these games within like an hour or two. Some of them were actually kind of difficult. Sewer Shock was a little bit hard. I never beat that one. There was Tomcat Alley. That one seemed a little bit fun. There was some other ones that came out for Sega CD that were like military adventure ones. There was, I think, a zombie one, and there was one with a helicopter and so on. Some of them did get a little goofy, way too goofy. But Ground Texas Zero, which is a gem in my opinion. Anybody who is a Sega CD fan deserves to buy, or you should buy, Ground Texas Zero. And the reason why I'm making this video is because if you like or like some full motion video games, now people really do understand what makes a full motion video game good. Let me just explain it to you. Okay? The Walking Dead. Do you understand that? The Walking Dead video game was really good. It's a full motion video game. It's just using CGI actors. That's all it is. And there are things that we know more about game design that we didn't know back then that we can implement today in full motion video games. The Walking Dead could have probably been done with live actors, the video game. And people would be raving about it today. I mean, if you got some good quality actors, you can make a masterpiece, a full motion video game. But the reason why they're going with the CG is because, one, it's cheaper. You don't have to worry about all the problems with filming, lighting, and all these other things, production costs. I think it's just probably easier just to do it in studio. But today, things are a lot easier for filmmakers. Digital cameras are cheaper. Also, people can use DSLRs to get cameras into tighter shots where you couldn't get like a big Hollywood movie camera. So my message is, watch the video in the description box. I'll be leaving it in there. Just check it out. And if you haven't played any full motion video games, there's a couple of gems out there. Now, I highly recommend, like I said, Ground Texas Zero. Another gem I like that's just a cartoon one was Road Avenger for the Sega CD. Now, I believe Road Avenger came out for the Pioneer Laserdisc system, whatever, in Japan, but it got ported to the U.S. for the Sega CD. It also came out on iOS, and the company who made Road Avenger, I believe they made another one. It was a helicopter one. It reminds me of the G.I. Joe cartoon quite a lot, and that was actually a pretty fun one too. I love the art style and so on. Check it out. Full motion 90s was great when it was done right, and let me just say, it sucked really bad when it was done wrong. But once again, guys, this has been mp4podcast.com signing out. You guys have yourself an awesome day. Later, guys. Bye.